according to an August 31st, 2021 study published by Florida Atlantic University. It found that 40% of adults 75 or older are completely inactive. Meanwhile, according to Fox News, more than 75% of the entire American population isn't getting enough exercise according to CDC standards. Bobby Aldridge has spent more than 30 years in the health and fitness space. He's a physical therapist who has spent time as an athlete, a student, working with athletes both at the pro and collegiate level. His mission is now to help others move with ease, grace, and power to eliminate pain, reduce the chance of injury, and maximize performance. His emphasis on mobility is unique to the fitness industry and is especially effective for older adults who are active and play golf, tennis, and hike. Aldridge says that simple movement and consistency can go a long way in improving your overall quality of life and overall fitness and endurance as well. Aldridge created equipment that helps pro athletes and average Joes improve mobility and performance while reducing back pain. Aldridge took some time out of his schedule this week to join me to talk to me about his journey in health and fitness, his time as an athlete, his mission to help others improve their mobility, which will in turn improve their overall quality of life. I'm Kevin McShann. Let's have this conversation. Bobby, if you're ready, I'll take a moment to welcome you to the program, and I'm super excited to learn all about your journey in health and fitness. Great to see you this afternoon, and thank you for a few minutes, buddy.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely, and I know, Bobby, that you've been in the health and fitness space for over 30 years, and you specialize in mobility and helping older adults really improve their mobility, and especially those who are active and athletic and play tennis. So I'm wondering if you can tell me about all the great work that you do.
Yeah, well, I've been in this business for 30 years. I graduated from the University of San Francisco with a degree in kinesiology. And then I got certified when I got out of college. I was a basketball, baseball player. And went through many injuries. And through all the years of dealing with injuries, from broken ankles to torn ligaments in the knee to breaking my back in a car accident, tearing my rotator cuff, and elbow pain, I've kind of been through the gamut of stuff. And what I've done over the last 10 to 15 years, I invented some equipment to make it easy for people to do it at their home. And COVID was a great thing for me. Everybody was stuck at home and they wanted something to do and programs to do, and that's specifically what my my equipment help with. And it's measurable metrics, like a mat that has boxes and numbers on it. You can place your feet, so when you do it, you can actually see that you're improving, and it makes mobility easier for your average person. So I have pro athletes using it all the way up to 80-year-old people who just want to, enjoy life and feel better. So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's dive into the equipment specifically about what it does and why it's such a improvement of quality of life for people. Why do people gravitate towards the equipment that you've created?
Well, it simplifies it for them. It keeps them accountable to their movement because they can see actually where they are. It's kind of like bench pressing and putting on, a 45 and then put on another 45 and you're doing 5 reps. You know exactly what you're doing. When people do mobility, different movements like yoga, Pilates, and things like that, they really don't know where they are in space. So they can't really improve it. So they stay kind of stagnant with where they are. These exercises are simple to do, like the blocks behind me back there. You can lay on those blocks and open up your chest and shoulders. And nowadays, everybody's on the computer. Everybody's sitting where their bodies are in this position, or they're rounded forward, or they're on their phones. And what the blocks do is you lay on those blocks, it opens up my chest and shoulders. It makes it easier for me to breathe. It reduces the tension on my neck, and it gets you in a better position. And better position means everything to feeling good.
Yeah, absolutely. And Bobby, I shared with you earlier that I was born with mobility challenges. Mobility challenges, having cerebral palsy, so I know all about the importance of keeping active and making sure that your mobility is still at a point where your range of motion is effective. So tell me about the importance of staying active, especially as you age, and the importance of really valuing your mobility as well.
Yeah, well, what you just talked about is I actually helped somebody with cerebral palsy years ago, a kid. I have a vest that you put on and wear, and you can stretch in it. So you can lay there hands free with your legs in there, and you move through range of motion, and it makes you feel better. And I actually had to cut it up and make it smaller because the person was young. They were like 10 years old, 12 years old. And I was trying to get them to use it. But you want to come through? My wife's sneaking on through here right now.
Not a problem. The wives always take precedence over podcasts, right?
Yeah, there she goes. All right, bye, hon. And I'm on all day. I got to run to Mary's. So what I like to teach is for you guys to learn. It's like brushing your teeth. You have to do a little bit every day. And the thing is, if you're doing the right stuff daily, you will start to feel better. And what happens is most people are trying to strengthen dysfunction. And when you're dysfunctional and you add strength to that, that can cause pain. So what I mean by dysfunctional is your posture, things that are going on with your body that are a little off, right? You might be rounded forward or compromised. And then you go and you lift weights in the gym or exercise or go running or things that you're going to do to try to get in shape. And all of a sudden they start saying, my knee hurts, my back hurts. 80% of people out there have back pain. And that's because their posture's a little off. They put some demand on their body, or they sit all day, or things are going on that they're compromising their body and they'll have pain. So what I tell you guys all the time, you got to do a little bit every day, and it doesn't have to be a fitness routine. It's more of a lifestyle change. So if you change the way your habits are and you mix in some of these movements throughout the day, you'll feel way better. And so that's what I teach every day.
Yeah, absolutely. And just building on that point, Bobby, I'm also curious to ask you about what does it mean to you to make fitness a priority and really take ownership over your personal health and fitness?
Well, that's a hard part for many people because they don't understand the importance of it until they really have pain, or there's something like they want to lose weight, or there's a reason for it. I always say to people, you got to have your why. And if you have a really strong why, you'll follow through more. And so as you get older, we actually lose our, youngness that we have based on we don't move as much. We're not out dancing late at night. We're not doing things that are keeping us moving. and our bodies start to ache. So it's important that you make it a lifestyle change. It's not a diet. It's not a, I'm going to start exercising. It's literally a lifestyle change. Have a why, change it for that why, and you'll feel good. You'll start to feel better. You'll be healthier, and you'll actually enjoy life as you get to your older years where you want to do things that you enjoy doing, pain free. You know, that's the most important part.
Yeah, absolutely. And as you said, you help people through movement manage their pain. So I'm wondering if you can speak to people who aren't typically active but always experience some level of pain management. What are some of the easy things that people can do to really manage their pain and take ownership of uh, where they are physically as well?
Yeah. Well, most people have pain. That's not the issue. So if my shoulder hurts, it's probably because my left hip is not working properly or my right knee is not working properly. So it causes pain in the shoulder. So you can't spot, like, make yourself feel better. You have to do specific movements that are for the whole body that will release the tension throughout the body. It's kind of like if I took string and tied it from your shoulders to your hips and I pulled down on it, it's going to move the other shoulder up in the air. If I pull down on that one, it's going to move the other shoulder up in the air. So the body's connected with fascia, which connects to the back of your head and neck all the way down to the bottom of your feet. So if you're doing like a wall windmill, a runner stretch, spread feet wide and rotate, a bretzel, and then you're doing some soft tissue work, those are all exercises that release the tension throughout your body. And then laying on the blocks, like I was saying, those are things you can do to open up and mobilize the body. Then we use these things called mini bands to strengthen the body. And as we strengthen the good movement we have, we start to feel good. But if I strengthen you and you don't have the mobility and you don't have the functional movement you need, you'll all of a sudden say, God, my back hurts. Oh, this is bugging me. So again, there's three things you have to do. You have to soft tissue mobilize, you have to lengthen, then you have to strengthen. And you have to do it in that order. You cannot strengthen and then do mobility and then do soft tissue. It's got to be mobilize the joint with the soft tissue like a foam roller, mobilize the joint with the movement, and then strengthen it with the band. That's why you'll get such great results if you do it like that. Does that make sense?
It certainly does. And, you know, I always, one of the things that I try to do every day, Bobby, is to be at least 10 minutes active every day and really meet myself where I am from a physical and fitness perspective. One of the things I like to do also is go swimming and lift weights. It's one of the ways that I release tension and release sort of stress in my life. But I'm also curious to ask you about, you know, exercises for different groups of people and the importance of forming a sense of community when you exercise, because I know that it's important and it's more effective if you have a sense of community to keep yourself accountable when you're exercising, right?
That's very true. If you do have, people you enjoy seeing at the gym, you'll probably show up there more often to go to the gym. If you could do a Zoom call with a friend and work out with them and it helps with the consistency. It's like most of my clients I see once a week, right? So they look forward to the once a week. They check in with me. They do their own thing for the week, then they come back. Community is key to staying with it. And one of the things you talked about, swimming's awesome. Swimming is great for the body. You can move in so many different directions. You don't have to be swim when you're in there. You could just lay on your back and move your arms. You can lay on your side and move your arms and feet. It's a great, great exercise for people. I would definitely recommend trying to get in the pool 2 to 3 times a week at a minimum, especially as you get older, because the joints keep moving. So great job on that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Just talk for a minute, if you will, Bobby, about the importance of exercise and really the effect it has on improving your quality of life. Because when you move and you're active, all aspects of your life get a little bit better, don't they?
That is true. And the reason is you get in this endorphin rush. If you ever heard about runners who start out running a mile, and then all of a sudden you hear they're running 20 miles, 2 years later, it's that runner's high is what they're chasing. So when you exercise, you kind of get in that runner's high. It also helps with clearing your head. So for all you people out there that are busy, you're stressed, you have kids, a lot going on, when you say you don't really have time for exercise, the exercise will actually calm you down, make you feel better. It'll open up your air passageways, especially if you're doing some of the stuff I was talking about, like the wall windmill. That is just a fantastic exercise to open up your chest and shoulders. Same thing with the blocks, opening up the chest and shoulders. You're going to breathe better. And when you breathe more, it relaxes you. What happens when we're stressed, we take really short breaths, really short, and we're more tight, right? When you breathe and take deep breaths and you're exercising, it opens up those neural pathways and you start to feel like euphoric, like, oh, that's what happens when people actually start exercising. They feel that energy source. So it will definitely improve the quality of your life. What I ask people to do is mix in a few of these exercises to make your body get in a better position so you can actually do the things that you love to do. And I promise you, I do, is because during COVID, golf was the only thing that opened up. And we had all these golfers going out and playing, but they were hurting themselves. They were hurting their backs. They were hurting their shoulders. And when they started using my tools and following the program, one of the athletes that called me out of the blue says, "Oh my God, Bob, it's on my website. If you scroll down, you can actually see it." He said, "It feels like I'm cheating. I don't have pain. This is amazing." And he followed the program for 2 months before he went out and played golf. When COVID opened up golf again, it was like 2.5 months into COVID. He had no pain. He felt great. And he was only using the tools that I was talking about, the mat, the blocks, the bands, and a medicine ball. And that's all he was using because he couldn't go to the gym. He was a big gym guy. And so now he feels even better than he did when he was going to the gym. So I always tell people there's plenty to do at home. I have pro athletes doing these simple movements because you were asking, what kind of movements would you do for different, people? It's the same movements, but at different, positions of what they can handle. If it's a pro athlete and a grandma, they're doing the same exercise, but it's at a different degree, that sort of thing, if that makes sense to you, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Bobby, you say that your road to fitness and this lifestyle was born out of necessity when you had to sort of pre-rehab for yourself, buddy. And as you mentioned, you spent some time as a college athlete. So I'm wondering if you can reflect on that time of your life and your favorite memories as a college athlete as well.
Yeah, it was really fun. I mean, I went to the University of San Francisco. They're known for their basketball back in the day. Our baseball team wasn't too good. And I really loved, basketball. It was one of my funnest experiences. But when I broke my back that sophomore year in college, I was out for almost a year with dealing with the pain of my back and the injury I had to deal with. But I learned a lot in that time. I wouldn't know what I know now if I didn't go through that experience. And that's why I understand pain when people have it. It's if you can do the right movements, the pain will dissipate and get better. And it doesn't matter if it's going to be 100% better. If we can get it 10, 20, 30, 40% better, it's better than not having it. You know what I mean? Like if you're in pain and you're all in pain all the time and I can make you 50% better, well, that's 50% better of a life you can live rather than being in pain all the time. So I was lucky to actually have that happen and deal with it and have to learn how to make yourself feel better and deal with back pain because it is one of the 8 out of 10 people have back pain at some point in their life. And that's a huge number. That's unbelievable. But I haven't had back pain now in years because of what I do and teach. And I don't work out all the time. I am not a fitness crazy guy that I used to be. I used to be a freak of fitness back in the day. I was doing CrossFit before CrossFit. We were doing all that Olympic lifting and heavy deadlifts and all this different stuff that they do. We did all that way back. But now I'm just about mobility, quality of life, hanging out with the kids and the family and the wife, and having time. I don't spend 2 hours in the gym twice a day every day like I used to. So it's more about fitting it into the lifestyle and doing a little bit every day. I say it's like brushing your teeth. You don't brush your teeth twice a week, right? We usually do it twice a day. So it's kind of like fitness. You get off this podcast, just do an exercise to make your body feel better. And then 2 hours later, do something else to make your body feel better. Mix it in throughout the day so when you get home from work or whatever you were doing, it's not time to work out, it's time to do what you love to do. And that's a big lifestyle change once you understand that. And that's what I do when I teach corporate wellness. I go into big companies and I teach this stuff, how they mix it into their day with the tools that I have behind me. So
Yeah, and since you brought it up, I'll just follow up with this. How do you think wellness and really prioritizing your wellness sort of increases your productivity in every aspect of your life?
Oh yeah, 100%. You move better, you'll move more often. If you're in pain, you move less. So think of it like that. Mobility is the key to improving your performance and reducing your pain. And as the pain dissipates, it gives you that energy to want to do other things and go move. If you're in pain, you do not want to move. You may lay in bed. So how are you going to get rid of that? We got to start figuring out how to pick a few of these movements and mix them in throughout the day to give you that energy to do what you enjoy to do.
Yeah, and Bobby, I know from your own rehab journey, you've got a unique perspective on sort of what I call fitness perseverance and really persevering through rehab and really digging deep to find your own level of fitness prosperity. So talk to me about resolve and the sort of perseverance that you went through from a physical perspective as well.
Well, there were points in the journey where it was so difficult for me, and the pain was still there, and I was 2 years into it, and I was still having pain, that I wanted to give up. I was really frustrated with what was going on, but I kept searching. I kept trying to figure out something to help me, and I got lucky that I tried a few different things, and it started to work. And I tried a few other things, and it started to work better. And that's how I've come up with what I teach now. Is it's a combination of a lot of years of experience and other trainers and physical therapists and doctors and acupuncturists and movement specialists, learning from them to come up with what I have to help people out there now really start to feel better. And it's so simple, it's profound in the way of they can't believe it's that easy, and I start to feel that much better. But the body was made to move like that. So is it for a pro athlete? Yes. Is it for your tennis player? Yes. Is it for your weekend warrior? Is it for your grandma? Yes. It makes people feel better, move better, which quality of life goes up, and they really can enjoy themselves.
And doing these movements also helps to improve the longevity of your life too, doesn't it?
Not a question. If you're pain free, you're breathing properly, right? You're gonna feel better. The two things I tell people is really focus on your nutrition. Try to be more like a vegetarian. Get in vegetables, get in fruits, get in a lot of that stuff. Drink water. Get in half your body weight in water every day. That's hard to do. But for example, I have bottles all around. Right now, my one bottle is actually with my son, but I have two in my car that I use that are 32-ounce bottles of water, and I drink those every day. And on the way out of here, when I leave, I live on a golf course, so a member here at the country club, I'll go in and get water. I'll fill it up on the water tank in there, and I'll get a big thing of coffee. And that's what I start with in the morning. Drink your water, do some movement, be consistent, eat your vegetables and fruits, and get in the things that you need. A great supplement I use is Athletic Greens. It covers everything that you need in a little scoop. Drop it in there. The New York Yankees trainer's been talking about it for years, and he's a great guy. I totally trust him, and that's why I use that one supplement. I don't use supplements. I don't use all the stuff that's out there as the fitness guy. But that's nice to get because we don't get everything in our fruits and vegetables. You know, it's kind of, they're not so strong anymore. So if you want to get healthier, you want to increase the longevity of your life, definitely take care of yourself that way with water, hydrate yourself, get the right nutrients, and then throw in the right mobility. You'll be doing really well. And it'll fix a lot of people like with chronic pain that they don't even understand they have, you know, how to get rid of it. All of a sudden, it's just make those changes. They might need hydration. That could change drastically how you feel. So that makes sense, Kevin?
Yeah, it does, buddy. And, you know, I'm also fascinated to ask you, in your 30 years in the fitness industry, what do you think is the biggest professional lesson that you've learned that you think that you'll carry on throughout the duration of the rest of your personal life as well?
A little bit every day, moderation is the key. Little bit every day, lifestyle. Make it a lifestyle. A little bit every day. And in the long run, it's like a bank account. You know, I give you $1 a day, you know, 2 weeks later, you have $14. You're like, big deal. But what's it like 14 years later that I gave you $1 a day? That's a lot of money, right? To walk up and hand you all that cash, you'd be like, wow, that's a lot. That's how your body is. And if you do that a little bit every day, you're going to get that bonus and benefit out of that. So consistency, moderation, and be patient with yourself. Be patient. Patience is the key.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a virtue, isn't it?
It is. It can be tough sometimes. We're not always that way. I'm telling you guys, but I struggle with all this stuff the same way. I don't get enough water sometimes. I don't eat the right foods. I do the best I can 80% of the time, 70, 80% of the time. You know, like I said, I am not the fitness guy I used to be where it was all about fitness. I ate perfectly. I was shredded. I did this stuff right all the time. Kevin, let me show you actually a picture of something that I haven't talked about in a while. That years ago, I was the guy that was the before and after picture. I was the first before and after picture. Okay. So I was doing this stuff before anybody was doing the before and after pictures. And let me show you, this was me when I broke my back in college. If you can see that. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay. I was the fat guy, right? And then I went and I got back in shape. And I became that guy, right? So if you look at this, that's my before and after when I was in college, okay? So when I started fitness, people did not believe I was the ripped guy. They saw me as fat, right? But all the people I trained, they had never seen that I could lose that weight. I lost 60 pounds in 90 days, okay? So at that time, people were like, wow, that's amazing. You can do that with your body. It's the average person can't do that. That was a lot of work. That was 3 hours a day, twice a day in there doing cardio. It was crazy for 90 days. But what I tell people, like I said, moderation, a little bit at a time, and over time, you will feel great.
And movement is key, right?
Movement is the key. Mobility is the absolute key. Mobility doesn't mean flexibility. Flexibility is just the length of the muscle stretching, right? Mobility is how the joints move with strength. And if you don't have the strength in there, your body won't allow you to get into these different positions because you don't have the strength, which is why you don't have the mobility. So when we get all three that I talked about, first soft tissue, then mobilize, then strengthen it. Make sense? So those are the little bits that will make you feel amazing. And like I said, mobility is the key. I hope you guys check out the website. It is, if you have questions or anything, you can email me at any time at bobby@bammotion.com. There's 2 M's in there, bammotion.com. And I can answer your questions on anything I talked about today. But it's a great opportunity for you guys to, check out the different tools I have on there. It's simplicity. Keep it simple, little bits at a time. Just go to the website, BAMmetrics.com, and you will see the tools. I have the blogs on there to, give you guys more information. I'm writing blogs once a week right now, trying to help people understand what to do and how to do it. And, it is simpler than you think, but if you don't know where to start or what to do or how to do it properly, then it becomes difficult. So I hope that helps you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And just before we get out of here, Bobby, I'm curious to also ask you about your personal and professional legacy and how you want that to be defined.
I've never really thought of it about the legacy and all that. It'd be great if I could get more people to try what I have. That's what's been the frustrating thing over the last 10 years is that all the people I work with hands-on, they do awesome. And then they refer a few people. I've been doing more of these podcasts, trying to get the word out. The legacy would be to change what's going on with the health industry. There's too many people in pain. There's too many people that don't do the basic stuff like I talked about today. The athletic greens, drinking your water, eating properly, getting in some fruits and vegetables, and then just doing a moderate amount of exercise. So, I hope someday I can get the word out more and really get people to buy into what I've been teaching now for some years. And, I really enjoy. I have 2 kids. I have a 17-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy. They're going to be my legacy. I don't know what they're going to do for in the future. My daughter's a golfer, quite high level, and then my son's a football player right now. He loves basketball, but we do more football and baseball. Baseball was my game, and my dad played professional baseball, so I know it rather well. So legacy-wise, I hope more people will. I'll be able to help. That's really what it is.
Well, absolutely. Well, Bobby, I know you have to run, and I want to thank you for your insight and analysis and sharing some parts of your fitness journey with me this afternoon, buddy. Your work in the space and time on my behalf is most appreciated, and I want to thank you for being here today.
Yeah, and Kevin, thanks for having me on. I'm going to give your guests a special little treat where if they do order, use BAM free ship. BAM, BAM, free ship, and you'll get free shipping.
Fantastic. Well, I want to thank you for your time, buddy, and we'll be sure to stay connected. I look forward to it, my friend.
Thanks, Kevin. Appreciate it. Talk to you soon.